Do you also feel this high energetic pace right now? Do you feel that life is bringing challenges or decisions to you that are causing you some stress right now? But maybe you also feel, and this is a very exciting component, that there is something in you, a part of you, that is very calm and very clear. It's as if there are two hearts in your chest. One beats a little faster with challenges and perhaps also excitement. The other heart is in a state of calm, serenity, and sovereignty, and it knows its own power and strength. And the exciting phase we are in right now needs exactly these two hearts. Because now, topics are coming at us, both personally and socially, where it is incredibly important that you are able to remain in absolute calm, but at the same time stay excited, face challenges, and most importantly, step out of your comfort zone, make decisions, and act without shying away from it. And that's what we want to talk about today. Hello, my name is Linda Giese. Welcome to this episode of the Live Happy podcast. Yes, I have been a spiritual mentor for over 20 years, the publisher of the book Consciousness Next Level, and the founder of the Being Potential Method. What are your being potentials? Why they are your strengths, and why you should definitely start living them. Especially in the current times, where it's all about self-empowerment, yes, about self-care and self-empowerment and absolute clarity, to no longer be manipulated and to truly follow your own path strongly. Yes, if you want to know more about it, then I invite you to our upcoming Being Potential live show. You can find out when it takes place, what time, and more information by following the link in these show notes for this podcast episode. Well, the energies are intense. I believe that we are standing with both feet right in the middle of the transformation, that most of us are standing with both feet in the spiritual ascension, and that we are partially or fully awakened. Yes, depending on how you want to look at it, it doesn't really matter. But the awakening itself is in full swing, and I believe it's a message we can no longer ignore. A few years ago, people might have looked at it with some question marks, wondering if people were really awakening. Now, it is even seeping into areas in various ways and manners where it was never thought possible and considered impossible. As often discussed, the truth is coming to light. Yes, it bursts to the surface with a brutal force and naturally brings challenges with it. 2001, that's crystal clear, because when we see things in their unvarnished truth or in their clarity, we make completely different decisions. And these completely different decisions can really challenge us, making us suddenly required to stand up for ourselves, to stand up for our own truth. We can no longer allow ourselves to sugarcoat things or look the other way. Yes, and that we might also be influenced by our environment in various ways, depending on how your personal development is shaped. It could be that, for example, you are, and circumstances. If you accept this challenge, yes, indeed, that people perceive you as cold-hearted and insensitive. Yes, but you know within yourself, yes, that's how it is. There's a part of me that has bared its teeth and is fed up with running away, conforming, bending over backwards, sugarcoating things, and sticking to what I call religious or spiritual bullshit concepts. No, you are now indeed breaking your own personal barriers and truly going your own way, and definitely. And this part definitely doesn't get caught up in emotional wishy-washiness at all. If you focus completely on this part, then you might also feel, well, I'm not really feeling anything right now. It's not actually emotional coldness, but in fact you are truly not disturbed by sensitive emotions or feelings. And at the same time, you know that you have an undoubtedly incredibly compassionate and undeniably big-hearted nature, which still functions and continues to be your guideline. Yes, and that you continue to use it and live it in a completely natural way in your daily life and consistently. Yes, but you are increasingly finding yourself in situations where it is necessary to differentiate between these two hearts situationally, in various contexts and scenarios. And in the long term, it will naturally be that we connect the two hearts with each other. In the long term, it will naturally be that we connect the two hearts with each other. Yes, and then something really exciting happens, and that is just a part of the ascension process. Let's pretend that so far you have been deeply connected with your emotions, with the sensitive feelings, the compassion, the understanding, and yes, with the spiritual wisdom teachings as well. So, having walked through the world alone, 2001, and now comes this Well, this freedom fighter heart that gets activated and will certainly be lived more intensely at times, yes, so that one might almost feel that this heart or this inner nature now dominates. Yes, it's just like muscle training. The muscle is simply being trained now, yes. It's like if you had broken your leg for a long time, yes, and could only use one leg while the other was in a cast and you were walking on crutches. When the cast eventually comes off, you'll see that one leg is very thin where the cast was, and the other is well muscled. And so the muscle in the leg had to be trained properly and effectively in order to catch up once again. And that's how it is with our, well, let's say more radical heart. Maybe that's a pretty good term. This has been in a cast for an incredibly long time. Yes, chained in a spiritual cast. Yes, you shouldn't do this, you don't do that. We've mostly learned this in our upbringing. Yes, we just notice that when we use the other heart, we simply do better. But don't kid yourself, you're not better off with it. The price is too high. If you don't stand by your truth, the price is too high. We are simply reaching a point where we can no longer afford to deceive ourselves, let alone be deceived by others. And that's why we are now training this other heart, the one that is somewhat more radical, insisting on truth and responsibility, while also standing up for truth and taking responsibility ourselves. So it's not just about demanding it from others, but also clearly demanding it from ourselves. And then at some point, when the two hearts connect with each other and become one, maybe that's a good image, you will notice how your energy completely increases, yes, because you are combining strength and love. And we will need this increased strength, not just the radical one, but this connected strength, when both muscles or both hearts are developed simultaneously and then connect. We will clearly need this increased strength. And the faster or the sooner we implement this for ourselves in our lives, and definitely the better. So really and truly learn to no longer be afraid of our own inner courage and strength. The sooner we learn this, the better, because we need brave people in a time when the truth is generally coming to the surface, where there must be people who stand up for the consequences of this clarity, this truth, and these insights, who demand responsibility, yes, but also this clarity that happens because we ourselves also learn to distinguish what is true, what is not true, where are they trying to deceive us, and where do I prefer to trust my own intuition, my own instinct, my own perception, my own intelligence. Yes, well, the age of fake news has definitely dawned upon us, bringing with it a wave of misleading and false information, causing confusion and misunderstanding among the public. In today's world, the age of manipulation is in full swing, yes, and it is especially prevalent among those who are supposed to serve and protect us, yes. The power they wield is being grossly abused and misused. This manipulation is not just subtle, but often blatant, and it affects every aspect of our lives, from politics to personal freedoms. The trust we place in these individuals is being shattered, and the consequences are far-reaching and deeply troubling. And that is a crime, but we need to recognize that. Yes, and I don't even want to go into the details because I absolutely and unwaveringly believe this permeates and inextricably influences all areas of life, or can permeate and inextricably influence all areas of life, that people or institutions, organizations that have power and also have a claim to power are now more inclined and predisposed than ever. And we have already experienced quite a bit of abusing this power in a very manipulative way, yes, or very condescendingly, yes, very, very bluntly, yes. And for that, we need our own strength and resilience, and we must not fear our courage and determination. We must not be afraid to commit wholeheartedly and stand up firmly for ourselves, and to position ourselves strongly, clearly, and confidently within our own values and truth structure, embracing our unique perspectives and unwavering beliefs. Yes, so the topic of self-empowerment, which is definitely my calling. Clarity, self-empowerment, and freedom, those are my strongest values, yes. I'm deliberately not mentioning love and gratitude and such because I don't need to name those. 2001, yes, I have such a strongly pulsating heart full of love and gratitude that I feel it every day. I don't need to force it artificially, nor do I need to artificially promote it. What I am very passionate about is the topic of self-empowerment, clarity, and freedom. because I simply know that for my part, I contribute something valuable to life with it. Yes, and I do that, for example, about my work with our clients, about designs. Potentials being potentials are your strengths that have been given to you for this life. The unfortunate thing about it is that it was already trained out of us during upbringing. Yes. The education system, traumatic experiences, unfortunately, a very big issue. If you have had traumatic experiences and society is highly traumatized, then we do not live our being potentials. We do not know them at all. In some cases, we even live them in the opposite way. Yes, and then it is, of course, particularly bad. So, by first getting to know our being potentials again. Yes, individually, each person has their own unique being potential structure. And I have a really, really great method to find this out definitively in black and white. And this realization is often far from how you are currently living. However, 2001 also shows you how you should live. And when you do that, it's a truly beautiful process. You'll notice that you come into your self-empowerment, and naturally, you also gain clarity. Yes, because this automatically clears things up within you as well. Yes, the trauma-sensitive handling of your core wounds. Yes, the clearing up of your history of injuries and traumatic experiences, and thus also the healing of your past and the impact of healing on your future. And in this process, self-empowerment is activated. And self-empowerment, why do I favor it so incredibly much? Because when you are self-empowered, you simply don't get scared of challenges anymore. You just say, okay, challenge, task accepted, 1,000. And sometimes you are simply able to set aside your feelings and push through. The second aspect of self-empowerment is that you create your own awesome life, whatever an awesome life means to you. Yes, and this is especially true in these times. You become the master of your own life and take the reins of your life back into your hands. Yes, you are bringing a lot of movement, especially among us women right now. Yes, men are also part of our program, but there is a noticeable trend among women where they are truly becoming like she-wolves. Yes, just like a she-wolf, a highly social being, yes, but also with strength, also an alpha animal. Yes, indeed, the she-wolves raise the pack together with the wolves as a parental pair on equal footing, in fact, as a matter of fact. Yes, so the descendants and women are more and more increasingly developing into their power. And not just as a business lady or, what was it before, an auto mechanic or something else. No, I'm talking about this femininity, yes, this incredible power that is also present in femininity, which might sometimes have a masculine character here and there. Yes, because we are moving into this independence, meaning the energetic field that is clearly and completely open. Why is the buffet open? What is on the buffet? Yes, of course, spiritual ascension is also about recognizing, or rather acknowledging, that we are all one, definitely, absolutely, but not in this spiritual haze of delusion, rather clearly in combination or integration with self-empowered independence or self-sufficiency. And that is an independence, yes, independent. When you are independent, you can also enter into healthy dependency structures. What are healthy dependency structures? You serve me, I serve you. You are better at this, I am better at that. How can we come together to create added value, to create value for humanity, for the world, for nature, for animals, for a group of people in need, or for inventions or whatever? Because we often see people with the most brilliant invention ideas who just can't get their inventions off the ground because they lack the structure. And there is this nerd character who simply isn't able to establish it in society because they lack other social, structural, or communicative components. But maybe there is someone who is really good at exactly that, who understands what the nerd is inventing and can bring it to the people because they are perhaps better accepted or understood by society. And so two can complement each other, and a dependency arises, but a healthy dependency. Partnerships, when they work really well, are where two healed adults, or as healed as possible, or conscious adults, form a connection where each is fundamentally independent as an individual. So out of this neediness structure, when that is ensured, a good partnership and a healthy dependency relationship arise, and we can embrace that wonderfully, just as partnerships are changing. We have had many years and decades behind us where the divorce rate was very high, the number of single parents was very high, and family structures were breaking down. And here, it seems like a new trend will develop that focuses on the independence of the individual, resulting in committed partnerships where this healthy dependency is lived, so that the couple does not limit each other but rather potentiates each other. Yes, and that is a very, very strong and exciting development. That's why I'm taking a step back now. It is just so important for us to learn to grow into this independence. And for that, our so-called radical heart is coming into existence. So we know what is meant, yes indeed, that you simply free yourself from constraints, stand up for yourself with confidence and determination, bravely walk your path with courage and fortitude, and courageously overcome one or two hurdles which push you out of your comfort zone. And it may be that you leave people behind, absolutely. But it can also be that you are left by people. Yes, this is currently a very, very big issue. It might be that you are tidying up, yes, that you really feel like your life needs new structures. I am addressing one's own life, but I am also speaking to all those who are self-employed or run a business. It may also be that these corporate structures are now changing. Yes, that a structure is simply being created that increases the possibilities. 2001. So it's about a truly beautiful emancipation, expansion, incredible strength, and absolute unwavering and steadfast assertiveness. So in combination, right, liberation, expansion, and assertiveness, these three forces, which are very strong in the field, almost take on a creative character, a bold creative character, making you suddenly feel more confident. And this feeling that is growing within us, we simply don't want to be held back anymore, not be limited anymore, not be manipulated anymore. This is gaining more and more momentum, yes. If you now feel, for example, that there are areas in your life where you already know you need to tidy up, you need to clarify something, you need to change something, but you are avoiding it for whatever reason, look at why for whatever reason. So what feeling is associated with it? Why don't you dare? Why don't you do it? Yes, because then you will be able to recognize, okay, there is still something inside me that is not healed yet, and you need to heal that, yes, so that you might be able to succeed. Or maybe you feel that you are perhaps dealing with physical symptoms and issues that are completely indeed slowing you down. Then just take a closer look, indeed. But why doesn't life slow down? Why doesn't it want you to just continue as before? Yes? What can the phase of rest or recovery, which you must allow yourself, give you? What clarity can it provide you? What change in direction, yes, can indeed be observed when you are in this healing process? Definitely. But maybe it's also about you taking a little bit of a moment to perhaps even carefully observe for yourself if your symptoms are indeed indicating that you should generally express yourself more. So what indications are there in this? What changes need to be made? This often has to do with life structures, but there's also the suggestion of whether you might want to completely come out of yourself. Do you finally, truly, and really want to become the person you are meant to be in your life? Yes, that you finally peck the eggshell from the inside. Yes, you are long matured. You are much stronger than you think. Yes, much greater than you think. And that you free yourself from your, I don't dare, I would like to, but yes. And what beliefs have actually formed this eggshell, like not being good enough, not lovable, and so on. Yes, there is so much. Feel free to write your limiting beliefs in the comments or share how you liked this episode of the Live Happy podcast and what comes to your mind on this topic. What are you currently facing? Where are you currently outgrowing yourself? Or where do you feel I need to surpass myself, but damn, I just can't reach it? Yes, if you feel the same way, you are very welcome to join our next Being Potential live show, as I have invited you. You can also directly grab your biggest problem and book a Being Potential conversation with one of my Science Potential Success coaches. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. We just take a look to see if we can help you at all. What things are already visible? What is there to do? Yes, if you feel like finding out how our work goes and what we might be able to do for you, well, so far we have been able to help over 800 people through this program without exception. And yes, maybe this is something for you. We simply can't ignore this power now. And for all those who say, oh no, this doesn't suit me at all, I don't believe it, you might just have a different approach to it because this power is truly meant for all of us. Yes, this is the air we are all breathing right now. And of course, we have the option to get on the surfboard and ride the wave, or we have the option to be washed over by the wave. Yes, and how you experience this challenge or this activation of power is very, very individual in a way that is unique to each person. Yes, so here I no longer have the option to say that this is all on the partnership level, or on the interpersonal level, or on the financial level, or even on the professional level. Sometimes it's even everything at once, yes. So this is something I see in many, many people at the moment. They feel in the first step, okay, something is happening on the interpersonal level, and at the same time, very strong inner processes are taking place. And then quite often work or professional issues come up, like some major disaster, and you suddenly realize, like, shit, how am I supposed to handle this now? And before you think about giving up, let me tell you clearly, we have already guided several people through these processes. It's not about giving up. It's not always about doing something wrong. It's simply about consciousness next level. Yes, coming out of yourself, leaving your comfort zone. So that means if you've been running along the beach with your surfboard under your arm or paddling a bit on the practice waves, then dare to go into the higher wave and see if you can stay on the board and surf. For me, surfing, when I learned to surf, it was really a revelation because I thought, damn, surfing is like living. You really need to stay focused, yes, so really keep your sights on where you want to go, and at the same time be flexible in your knees and maintain your balance, yes. And stay focused, you know. You can't let yourself get distracted by any thoughts or considerations. You really have to be fully present in the moment. And that is really, 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 really awesome, empowering. And that's exactly how I feel about the current energy, which is truly a powerhouse waiting for us. And here life is really quite clear as always, just as it has always been. Life is for us, yes. And even if you are currently in situations where you think, no, life is clearly against me, no, life is for you, maybe you haven't realized yet that you should stand on the surfboard, yes, and not cling to it like a buoy and be at the mercy of the waves, but rather ride them to emphasize the importance of proper technique and balance while surfing to ensure a safe and enjoyable experience on the waves. Yes. This is the power that I personally definitely resonate with a lot right now. Yes, absolutely. And really on one side with a lot of joy, and on the other side with some truly intense realizations and the necessity to come into my power even more. And yes, once you understand it like that, it becomes really fun. Okay, you wonderful people, I'll see you at the next Being Potential live show, or we'll have you on our team to see if we can help you the way you want. The invitation stands. Both are free of charge. And otherwise, I wish you the very, very best from the bottom of my heart, your sister in spirit, your Linda.